I like it.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Hello, everybody. I'm your host, Bill Rigby, on the Agents of the Unexplained podcast. Find us on Facebook and in the future, YouTube.
Correction. We are on YouTube.
Yeah,
But
we need to fix your intro.
I'm telling you, brother. Okay.
Yep, we'll fix it.
I invited Mike to come on with me on this topic of migratory Bigfoot. And we were discussing that in the Pennsylvania Bigfoot Project. One post. I myself don't think they migrate. They do to a certain extent, if you want to call it migrate. They travel around a certain area. They got like a home area, like a hometown in the woods. That's their home base. And they travel around it. I'd say 10 to 20 mile radius. I might be wrong. This is my own personal opinion. I'm going, bears, they travel like a 50-mile radius. But they're foraging for different types of food than just what Bigfoot eats. Bigfoot eats meat. They're vegetarian meat eaters, so they got a lot more. Where mainly your bears are not meat eaters. The thing is, I don't know. It's my personal opinion, and from what I've been studying, and I've been studying hard on this. Mike got a lot more in there than I do. He definitely studied a lot more on this than I have. I'm not ashamed to say. He has the Bergman role, different wildlife studies that I've done. Even the thing is, they do hunt. They do forage. They will go where the food is plentiful. Do they hibernate during the winter? Hell no. No way.
No.
Now, this is our personal opinions. Mike's might be a little different than mine. I'm not stating it as a fact. I'm stating it as my own opinion. So here's the thing. They can go up to about 20 miles radius area, as the bird flies. Do they travel outside that area? Yes, they will. Am I right, Mike? You think I'm right? Oh, he froze up. Mike, do you think they travel outside their so-called town limits, as I put it?
Okay. Historically, there's only one animal that actually migrates per se, but it never leaves its home range. But the furthest traveling animal on the planet is the caribou.
True.
The caribou will travel hundreds of miles, but they have to because they live in the tundra. So they have to travel like that. They don't have a choice.
Yes.
Now, you have two other accounts. Like, for one, and I've lived through a couple of them. The bigger ones were back in the 1800s, but there was a great squirrel migration. And that's where squirrels will eat all the food in a particular area, and then they'll take off by the hundreds of thousands and just go in one direction, just eating everything as they go. And it was called the Great Squirrel Migration, and it was first noted historically by Lewis and Clark. And then the other big migration that happened, which was caused by man was grizzly bears. Everyone knows that grizzly bear is a mountain animal, but historically they weren't. Historically, they lived in the Serengeti of America. They were in the plains. They were a plains animal. But after market hunting happened, their food source started being hunted out of the Great Plains. And they started being hunted in the Great Plains. So they pushed up into the mountains, and now they just live in the mountains. And then you got your coastal brown bear, your mountain grizzly bear, which genetically are the exact same animal. It's just one lives on the coast, one lives in the mountains. And the reason the grizzly gets the grizzly hair is because of his diet, because he's not eating coastal foods like a lot of fish, a lot of fat, a lot of protein.
Right.
So their hair gets more grizzly.
All right. Now, we know polar bears kind of migrate to a certain extent.
Yes, but they never really they don't leave Antarctica. You know, they don't come to South Dakota or anything like that. There are super rare occasions of that, like cat number 253, I think his number is. It was a mountain lion that was tagged in Idaho, and he was hit by a car in Massachusetts.
Right.
But that was a singular animal event, not every single mountain lion on the planet pushing to the East Coast.
Well, the way I look at it too, okay, if the food source is shrinking, okay,
right,
yes, they're going migratory farther out. But here in Pennsylvania, even in Ohio, there is plenty of food source.
Yeah, there's so much ag, it's not even fun.
So,
and exactly, that's it. If your Kroger runs out of groceries, you go to a new Kroger's. But what if your Kroger's is packed full? Why go to a different one?
Exactly.
You know, there's no reason to.
Yeah. That's it right there. So, you know, out in the plain states, you know, you got all that farmland. I don't see them migratory away from that. The desert areas, well, yeah, of course. You know, how do they store their food up? I don't think they store it up. I really don't. They might store some, but I don't see them storing it. They eat what they can.
Yeah, the only case of that in the wild that I know of is the Wisconsin super sow. And this was a black bear, and black bear don't technically hibernate. They take long naps, but they don't technically hibernate.
Right.
Well, this super sow made her hibernation nest right where the DNR was dumping the roadkill deer. And it got to the point that this bear would walk up to the back of the truck as the guys were unloading the deer and wait for them to throw her one.
Yes.
Well, because of that food source, your average black bear, they can hold semen and eggs inside for an insane amount, like 3 to 6 months. And then if they feel the need to cub, they can actually release that. So they don't have to have a male right there on the spot. But this super sow,
I did not know that.
Yeah,
I did not know that.
Yeah, it's really weird. Turkeys can do the same thing for 90 days.
I heard that about turkeys.
But yeah, the super sow, your average bear will have 2 to 4 cubs, usually around 2. Well, because she had such that food source, she was kicking out 6 cubs a year. So just because she had the food source, but she didn't have to have a male. She could travel, find the male outside of her area, get inseminated, and then sit on it for 3 months before she decided to cub. So it's
Yeah,
a
well,
really cool story about her.
the other thing too is now we don't know that what the period that Bigfoot will be pregnant, and can they
No,
do that like bears and turkeys? We don't know. Now you just added another thing that to my bucket list of finding out. Thanks, Michael.
right?
But the thing
Well,
is, okay, I don't believe they might gather some nuts and stuff like that and keep in a den area. Now, Corky called me yesterday morning, yesterday morning, and he recorded the night before where there's a group of 12 Bigfoots huddled in a field together. And it was freezing cold out. Now, I don't see them just huddling out in the field for no reason. I don't
right.
see that. Not in that type of temperature because it was like 27 degrees. I believe they were huddled around some food source, and that's what I told them.
Yeah, I mean, right now the bucks are mating, bears are mating.
Yeah.
Most animals mate in the fall, carry over winter, and birth in the spring. Because
Yes.
carrying over summer would be more food for the mother, but when that baby is born, if it's, February when a baby is born, there's no food source around hardly in February compared to July, August, September,
Right.
October.
Right.
And
Now,
there again, I think it'd be a super high mortality rate also.
all right. I'm going to ask a question to the audience here. It says Facebook user asked this question or said this: Young coyotes is their meal of choice here. It's not coming up your name on this. So who asked that? So I can respond.
I actually
properly.
wrote a paper about that.
Yeah, I know
I
you
wrote
have.
it's on my website.
And that's another reason why I invited Mike in with us. He's extensively done a lot of study and reports on this stuff. And I'm glad he was able to come out. As you can see, he's driving. He's on his way to a call. And I appreciate you being here with us, Mike, with your info.
Sure. Holy shit, lady. UPS driver just pulled right out in front of me.
Oh,
that
yeah, of
was
course.
Intelligent.
Roadkill? No.
Well, earlier I had a car full of pipe bombs. That was fun.
I know when you messaged me that was what the, yeah.
About shit myself.
Yes. But, all right, we're getting crazy here off topic. But the thing is, think about it, folks. Why would they migrate? Because of the weather? No.
No.
Pennsylvania got over 2,000 caves. You got all kind of dens areas. You got no. They're not going to migrate. I believe
being hair covered.
Go ahead.
You're good, Bill. Oh, well, being hair covered, winter would be the ideal time for them to be out moving around because they wouldn't heat stroke.
Right.
I mean, look, okay, like my little Chihuahua even shivers on a 90-degree day. But you
Yeah,
take a dog like a husky, like, Atlas, you could take him out
Alice,
in the middle of November and he'll lay down in a mud puddle.
he'll do it now. When it was
Yeah,
freezing cold out, he wanted to be out there.
yeah,
That's the great Pyrenees in him.
yep,
So, yeah. Um, the thing is, I don't see them leaving uh,
no,
and traveling. Now, if they get booted out of the clan, yes, you're right, Stu. Uh, Stuart Clark, you're finding them deeper in pines right now. That goes for bears too, Stuart. Um,
yeah,
Deer, even rabbits. You'll find them where a pine grove, you will find these animals. The pine needles put off heat. Uh, um, there's not a doubt in my mind. That's what happened.
no. When I
Uh,
did gun hunt, muzzleloader was my favorite season because it was in January,
right.
and I would get on my hands and knees and belly crawl through pines, and I've never not got a deer during that time of the year. You just laid down, laid the old 50 or 45 caliber out in front of you, shot your deer, and that was it. So,
Uh, little story on the first time I went muzzle loading. Man, I'm all set. I'm ready. And there's that deer. It is a nice size one, too. I click and it turned and looked. So I just sat there and I'm froze. It turned
ah,
its head. I pulled the trigger, click, it turned and looked again. Nothing, nothing. And and I looked down at the gun, and when I did, I pushed down on the butt end. It went up and fired.
ah. I had a flintlock that an auctioneer called me out on once. He said that you could load the muzzle loader, step out of the truck, pull the hammer back, pull the trigger, and it might fire by the time you've seen a deer.
Yes.
Yeah, yeah, he
True.
called me out right in the middle of public on that. So,
Yep. So yes. That was a trip that time. Taught me be patient. All right, sir. Take care, brother.
right
We'll be here
across
for
the
a
street.
little bit.
There we go. I had to figure out where I was going. I've got to go right across the street to Kroger.
Why? Got a canned goods?
No, someone locked their keys in their car. I got to go unlock them.
But yeah, getting ready for Thanksgiving dinner.
Yep.
So, folks, seriously, tell us. Tim Gayhart's out here. Josh Ensley's out here. Tell me, what do you think? We like to hear your opinion. Do you think they migrate? They don't migrate? This is definitely an open forum on it. To me, like I said, I don't believe they do. I believe some gets booted out of the clan and they got to migrate and try to hook
Yeah.
up with another clan.
Yeah, they create rogues.
Yep. And you might have a rogue one that is mean and got
Yeah.
beat up and sent out of the clan. And then those are the ones you got to watch out for.
Well, Mother Nature is a kind of a bitch about that. I don't know if you've ever seen a yearling get weaned from the mother.
Yep.
She will kick, stomp, bite.
Yep.
She'll beat the snot out of that deer. And it's her own offspring, but she will literally beat the piss out of it to tell it to go away.
Yep.
They are brutal about it.
They are. And the thing is, look at the size of a deer compared to a Bigfoot.
Yeah.
A full-grown alpha Bigfoot whipping ass on another Bigfoot for being mean and rogue and throw his ass out of the community.
Yep.
I'm sorry.
And it's about the time that puberty hits when they become sexually mature.
Yes.
So not only are they being kicked out, but they've got, that teenage
Testosterone
testosterone.
gone. Yep.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, it's that they got a short fuse. So, but
Yeah.
understandably,
Yes. I know for a fact, you know, other
whew,
ones have said,
dang, girl.
from reports I've received and from different podcasts I've watched, that that car almost hit you.
He was a little close.
It looked that way.
It's been a crazy day today. Jesus Christ, now I've got another order. So now
Oh,
I've got
good.
2 calls on me.
Hopefully they're in the same parking lot.
Yeah, no
uh,
kidding.
but Tim, I kind of agree with you. Where Bigfoot only go in their area, they may move a little bit if food gets a little hard to find. Yes, especially in wintertime. But yes, they will eat pine needles. Uh, well, actually, they more eat the nuts out of the pine cones, and of course, the white bark off of pine trees.
Well,
Um,
pine needles are a great source of vitamin C.
yeah. And now, I
Right,
just came
where
across a
you at?
picture that we just came across a picture today. I was going through some of my old photos from
What
over a year ago,
that
where the pine cones were all piled up around these trees, and someone tried to say it was squirrels that did it. Not these piles. That's way too many around these different trees, and you can see where some's been chewed on. So uh, no, okay, like this one here. Yep, I agree. Um, they will. You're right. Yeah, and they got a shelter area for spring and summer area too. You know, higher ground, lower ground. Um, area that I study a lot. There's 3 areas I actually study a lot, and the one area I can't get into now because it's hunting season, and especially next week. It's well down in West Winfield, PA. It's a hunting camp, 200-acre hunting camp. Um, so I won't go in there, but we got a family of 9. Yeah, Bigfoots in that area. Uh, so even on the pavilion they had at the camp, they got a sign up there: population 9. So that's the thing too.
All right, 1 down, 1 to go.
All right, awesome. Um, the other thing is they got their sheltered areas. High ground, low ground, winter, summer. Uh, and basically, they go back and forth throughout the years of both. I don't think they. I really don't think they don't use one more than the other. It's where they're at and how the weather is, and they'll go into the shelter. Or if they're tired, they want to rest. I can be wrong. Like I tell everyone, this is my own personal opinion. From things I've been learning along the way, and I got a lot of good people out there I learned from, including that AAA guy. I hate to admit that he does have some good information. how to get unlocked when you lock your keys in and stuff like that, But
Oh, listen to
yeah, as he's locking himself out of his own vehicle.
I've done that.
Yeah, we know you have, Mike. But Tim, like in your area, you know, you have you basically have caught the same ones in the same area, so at different times. Uh, I think some of the young ones, when they get older, they'll migrate out of the area. I'm not totally sure. Uh, some will stay, some will go. We'll, I don't know. It's just logic says, all right, there's so many here and so much food. I got to move on. I got to find me a mate and better food. Whatever he said, he froze up and then he rah, 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 rah. But to me, I don't know. It's just a complex situation of trying to figure this out. You know, Stewart, he's been out there a lot. He understands what's going on. All right.
I gotta get a little petro. I'm on walk.
Oh, so we got to watch him gas up. Jeez, oh man.
Yeah, I only put 10 in. The boss paid for gas, but I don't have his fuel card on me. So I got to get reimbursed.
Sucker. Make sure you get a receipt.
Oh, yeah.
And forget to turn it in. I've done that.
Oh, yeah.
Really? Now Tim says this. Can you see what Tim wrote there?
This here, building the over the goat is so thick that they can lay under it. It gets really cold and stay warm. Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
that's kind of basically what deer do.
Yeah.
They just head for the thick stuff the colder it gets.
Yes.
Now, the deer around me are a little different.
I can understand that.
Well, I live on the river bottom. So a lot of the deer throughout the summer and fall will bed and live in the river bottom.
Right.
But every single winter, they close the dam. And State Route 715, I've seen it as much as 10 feet underwater. So when it gets to be that time of the year, you can't find a deer, squirrel, turkey, nothing. Everything goes up.
Right.
Everything heads for because we have just trained them that, hey, we're going to flood your home. It's that time of year. And they just keep going up, and they go up into the high country. So, of course, I go up there, too. I go hit the ridges.
Down there, my property, Indiana County, we got the river bottom there, too, over toward New Florence, VA. We got bear, deer, geese. I got everything hanging out in that river bottom. Come springtime, they all move out because that's when all the mountain snow and ice is all melting, the river's up. So the river bottom's kind of flooded. But yeah, the river bottom's a great source to find stuff. And I do believe, I do believe they travel that river bottom, the Bigfoots do.
Yeah.
Summer, fall, and winter. Because a good friend of mine's sister heard them yelling down in the river bottom, and she lives right near the river bottom, and she's heard that Bigfoot yelling down there with some howls. So,
Well, with fish, turtles, egrets, you name it, that's just an excellent food source, human or animal.
yes,
You
very
got
much so.
fish, you got frogs, you got turtles, you got birds, you got ducks, I mean, you name it, it's going to be where that water is. So
When that river bottom gets so thick with brush, so thick,
when you go, yep,
you wonder when the river's up high and pushing everything out that it doesn't destroy that brush, but it don't. It just makes it thicker.
yeah, it
seems like.
just, when the water goes down, it just grows back twice as thick.
Yep. But yeah, so we all right, I don't know who asked this because it comes up Facebook user, but what did we think about them making fire? I don't think they do.
The only animal I know of on the entire planet that does anything with fire is the Australian firehawk. And what it is this firehawk will sit out by a brush fire up on a tree and it'll watch rodents run out from the fire and
Right.
it'll swoop down and grab a rodent. Well, that dirty little bird will grab a branch that's on fire, fly off with it to a new spot, drop that branch, and light a whole new fire.
Right.
They literally spread brush fires. That's a little asshole. But yeah, that's the only animal I know of on the planet that utilizes fire.
Right.
Mainly because if you light a fire, first of all, it takes forever to start one by hand, either rolling sticks, rubbing, whatnot. But then you got to sit there and maintain and feed that damn thing. In the middle of nowhere, it's literally a lot of work to keep a fire fed and going.
So, yeah, right there just tells you, no, they don't have the patience to sit there and do that. Russell Easterbrooks, cat of nine-tailed tubers and plants. Yeah, they eat that stuff.
Oh, this makes a great flour. I love cattails. They're excellent to eat.
And so, I don't believe they make fires. I ain't saying they can't, but I don't believe they do. Do they use weapons? They use branches as clubs.
They use rocks.
They use rocks as projectiles. I know for a fact they do. We had stones thrown at us. Mike had stuff thrown at him. Do they make tools to use? Possibility. Do they use a rock or a branch as a hammer? Possibility. To break a nut open? Yeah, they'll use a rock.
Yeah, there's a video of chimpanzees using spears to hunt a brush baby. Craziest thing I ever seen. They stab this little thing and then they eat it. But I never in a million years even imagined that or thought about it until that damn National Geographic video came about. And I'm like, are you kidding me? Chimpanzees spearing these little brush babies to eat them? That's crazy. But yeah, they do it.
They do it. They definitely do. It's crazy. they figure out how to do it, and they do it. You know, uh, Bigfoot smarter than a chimpanzee? I say hell yes. So yeah,
Yeah.
they can figure out how to do that stuff. And they see how humans do things.
Yeah.
They observe us like we're trying to observe them, and they're better at observing than we are because they they see us better when we see them. Um, you got to be attuned to what you're looking at,
Yep.
and you know the thing is, you got to pay attention to your surrounding and at all times, and you'll probably see one. Uh, Coming back from Pittsburgh today, the one area I looked up down along a power line, I saw something move. I don't know what it was because I was doing 75.
Right.
All right, I lied, 85. Don't tell that steak cop. Yeah, Russell, you're right. Uh, they use rocks to break shellfish. They
Yeah.
do. Yeah, they do learn from watching. They're not. They're no dummies. Okay, and I do believe that they try to figure out the easiest way to get to their food source, and
Oh, yeah.
I don't believe they're all very aggressive toward humans. Uh, I think they're curious of us, but they're not aggressive. They don't want to be extra close to us
No.
unless they're, as I call it, counting coup, like that one did to me.
Right.
If they're aggressive to us, there's got to be a reason. We're too close to a young one. We're got in the middle of a hunt, maybe.
Or they've had some dumbass redneck pop shot at them before, and
Yep, yep. Or something stupid like that. Um, you don't know. Yeah, they are intelligent though. You always got to remember they're very intelligent. And some people say, "Oh, they can't be that intelligent, or they be having all kind of weapons and making fire." No, why should they? Why should they try to maintain that when what they're doing it works perfect for them?
yeah.
No, yeah, it's hey, they
Well,
thousands
in
of years out there.
that old report of Albert Ostman, he tried to build a fire and they stomped it out on him.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, the guy that was kidnapped back in the 40s or whatever it
Oh
was, Albert
yeah. Yes.
Ostman,
Yes. Yes. Yes.
he used a snuff to. All right, it's got to be right here somewhere. All right, well, I got to use my phone to run my battery tester on this one, but if you're still on when I'm done with this call, I'll be back.
I should be. I should be.
It won't take me long.
Yeah. You're right, Tim. The ones that solve for that, like that one with me. That's where I had, as you know, Tim. That's where I had my sighting on the Buckeye Trail, and the reason I said it was counting coup because it was. It was seeing how close it could get to me, and it got close. 15 feet. That is enough to scare the living crap right out of me. They do. And it was a young one, and the thing is, they'll see how close they can get to you without you noticing. Well, that guy got pretty darn close. and just by chance, I caught very little movement on my right side, my peripheral vision. I would never have thought to look right there and see him because I was looking down the trail, but he was there. So, yeah, they do get close. They try to study us, but we'll see. I'm planning on going to Salt Fork sometime this winter. Thank God my wife's feeling better. She had her staples out today, and the travel to Pittsburgh and back wasn't bad on her. Tired out a little bit, but it was good. She said she's going with me when I go to Slippery Rock Saturday, which is about a half-hour drive from here. So we'll go visit a friend down there and get a couple slabs of wood off of them. I'm planning on making the designs on it. But anyhow, so she's planning on getting out this year with me a lot more. And anyone else that wants to go out with us when we go out are welcome. Yeah. We were just trying to figure out what they're doing. Russell, yeah, they do watch logging roads. Let me put this up. Yes, they do. And they do that with the chestnuts and everything down here. A lot of these logging trails in the Alleghenies, I like following. I found different animals in there. And actually, the power lines down in Indiana County, you watch them, you see all kind of wildlife, from deers, bears, Bigfoot, coyotes, mountain lions. Oh, wait a minute. We don't have them in PA. Okay. No matter what, you see them, the power lines, these logging trails. I got, looks like Mike's trying to come back. There he is. And he's back. Hello, Mike.
Yeah, the guy, his starter was out. It wasn't his battery, so.
Tow truck.
Yep, nothing I can do about that one.
Nope. But, and see, Russell said they watch logging roads where trucks run over hickory nuts and break open the shells, which is true. And that's what I was just going at too when you came back, Mike. That power lines, logging trails.
Power lines. Out in Wyoming, they warn you that when you shoot a deer, that you're going to call a bear in. So they're so used to that when they hear the gunshot, they know there's a free meal. So people are actually attracting grizzly bear by shooting deer.
Yeah. Yep.
I mean, we teach wildlife so much stuff. It's not even funny. They've learned so many habits from us.
Oh yeah, that's a fact. The thing is too, they bears watch us. Deer come up to people, and eat right out of their hands because they got so used to watching certain people know they're not going to harm them.
Yeah, when you go to the Great Smoky Mountains, that's the first time in my life I ever had a deer walk up and let me pet it. And I was like, you have never been bow hunted before. I mean, it was just so weird. It was, Yeah, I'm just standing there. Here comes a doe, like, hey, pet me. And I'm like, why don't they do this when I'm in the woods with my bow? It'd make my life so much easier. I could tag out in a day.
I was bow hunting and a damn turkey walked right up and pecked up my boot.
I've
I'm
had
like, are you
turkeys.
serious?
Yeah,
Oh,
turkeys are cool. They're a neat animal.
well, all I can
Oh,
say is
there we
turkeys are the smartest dumb birds out there.
Yeah, they're either incredibly smart or so dumb they're lucky. I've not figured it out yet.
True. And then we got these other dumb birds out there. Oh, hi, Gary Gerhardt. How are you? Oh.
Oh, hey, Gary, how you doing?
uh, but yeah, so, all right. Did they? Thanks, Gary. I know we are. Yeah, that's what Gary says about you.
Oh, yeah.
Uh,
Yeah, I'll take it.
yeah, but the thing is, these animals use the power lines. They use the logging trails. They got logging roads and they got logging trails.
Yep.
I got more deers on logging trails than I did just sitting in my tree stand.
Oh, yeah.
So it's just neat.
Yeah, and even after the fact, because like when loggers, if you go doing an area like this coming spring that was logged last year, it'll have twice the mushrooms. It'll
Yep.
have all kinds of new vegetation blowing up, so the
Yep.
food source will be more. Yeah, it just rolls and multiplies as it goes. That one little act that we do is that ripple effect that
Exactly.
causes so many things to happen. It
But the thing
creates
is, too, all right, when I'm saying logging trails, these people are not going in clear cutting.
right.
Okay. They're going in selective cutting, which I
Yes.
agree with the selective cutting. You don't go in and clear cut. You don't destroy a forest.
No.
I've seen too much of that, and it just disgusts me. It ruins it for all life out there, not just
Yep.
the one or the other. It's for all life. Uh, you're killing off our oxygen supply for everybody. You're killing off habitat for all these animals. So I'm a dead set against it. And that will drive everything away. Yes, Gary, mushrooms. Not the type you take. Those wild mushrooms. But with all honesty, that would cause a Bigfoot to migrate out of an area when they clear cut it. Like any other animal. Now, the one area they clear cut in Indiana County had everybody and their brother there the first day of bear season, on point all over there. Not one bear came out. It avoided that area. 2 reasons. No food source and too wide open for them.
Yep.
They might have skirted the edge of it. Pardon you, Gary. Why, you fart? But, would that make an animal migrate out of an area? Yes, it will. Because it's going to take a good 10 years for that area to grow back up when you clear cut it.
Yeah.
No, I didn't hang at that area, Gary. They weren't avoiding me. I was headed up to another area, and they were. You see these hunters on point, clean around. It's like, you guys are nuts. It ain't gonna happen. And found out I was right, because two different groups of hunters, and I asked each group, did they see anything in there? Nope. So that's how it goes. I do not agree with clear cut, unless they're going to build on it, and then I'm pissed off about that because they're taking my woods away. My family's getting back home, but so everything points toward.
That's the one, isn't it? That one.
All right, I just got booted off a Pennsylvania Bigfoot Project page again. So
come on.
There's a problem with the Pennsylvania Bigfoot page and my StreamYard, and I don't know why. I got to remove it and add it.
Be right back.
Okay, and I'm adding it back. Okay, no, I didn't add it back. All right. Yes, Tim. You do have to be smarter. And you have to be smarter than the game you're after. That's a definite. But I hunt with people that hunted all their lives, that were taught by their parents. See, my dad wasn't a hunter, neither was my mom. I went out with a couple experienced hunters as a kid. And I don't know. You got to be taught. You killed a lot of animals off your couch, Gary. We're not talking video games now. But yeah, with all honesty, old school type hunting. Did I have a tree stand? Yes. Did I hunt on the ground? Yes. Did I walk a lot? Yes. Did you pay attention a lot? Very much so. You had to pay attention. You don't want to be walking up into another hunter's area that could have got you shot. All that crap, You got to be careful. It's just general, Did I look for signs of Bigfoot back then? No. I was hunting last year. I went bear hunting. I went deer hunting. I did more searching for Bigfoot signs than I did hunting. And that's the truth. And, I was up near Marionville bear hunting with my brother-in-law. We went to several different areas. And sure, we were hunting bear and looking for it, but I was more looking for Bigfoot. We deer hunted around here. And did I get anything last year? No. What was I doing? Bigfoot, more than I was hunting. couple of deers did get past me. I didn't take a shot because I was too busy looking the other way. And then when I looked around, there they were, and you couldn't get a shot on them, which is fine with me. I'd rather be out Bigfooting anyhow. Am I going out this year? No. I didn't even get my license because my wife, she needs me in her recoup. Yes, Tim, you're right. Once we know they're out there, we look for them more than anything. You're right. And I've done a lot of research online and in the woods. I try to do both. I've gone to a lot of conferences to learn from other ones. I met your top dogs in the business, as they put it. You know, big name people. Got info from them, and I got boots on the ground people locally. I get information from, and that's how you learn. You network, as they call it. They see and to find this stuff out, and that's why I say about the migratory issues. I really don't believe they do. Not too far from their home base. Yeah, they stay in a certain area. We do some lineups coming from Salt Fork to up to the Alleghenies. So there's a line that goes up and across. And I do believe the Ohio Grassman, you know, and the Bigfoots of Pennsylvania, they're all from the same, I can't say same clan, but I believe they distant cousins. You got some looks similar, some don't look at all the same. That's the same as humans, not everyone looks the same. Thank God. Who want to look like Mike? He ain't here to rebut that. But so I believe there some correlation to Salt Fork, to the Alleghenies. Someone had to migrate. They got out of their clans because the clan was too big and the food source was getting a little more scarce in that area, so they start moving on. And that next clan came along and it was getting too big, so this one moving on up and moving on up. That's the way it works. Mike's phone's going off. Yeah, you're right, Tim. They send the young males out to find a mate. Does he bring it back to the clan? No, he usually stays with that other one or start their own clan. It's, you think about it, common sense. Hey,
bitch.
The charge was blowing off, so you probably got another call. Yep, he froze up. Yeah, Gary. But all right, I think I took up enough of your guys' time. It's been about an hour. But everyone got their own opinion on this migrating stuff, and I believe they will migrate to a different area once they get pushed out of the clan, the pod, whatever you want to call it. especially if the family's getting too big and there's no room and the food source will get scarce. They'll move on a little bit. Like Tim said, send the young males out, let them get their mate. Maybe they send their daughters out too. So get the hell out. I don't like your mouth as a teenage girl. But
Well, I mean, in a sense, yeah, because if you have a younger male battling an older male for breeding rights, and that younger male beats the old bull finds a new pasture. You know what I mean? So yeah, it probably does happen both ways, but
yes, you're right. You're 100% right, Mike. It could go either way. And then you're going to have a grumpy old man getting kicked out from his normal peace.
Yeah. And
so
sometimes it's rare, but sometimes both bulls end up killing each other. They don't, I've seen I've seen it with deer. I've seen it with elk. But yeah, there was I once shot a deer that had a piece of antler stuck in the back of its neck where it was fighting. But I've seen 2 dead deer where their horns have got locked together and both of them starved to death. So
I saw where they found it in a pond, 3 of them.
Yeah.
Had their antlers stuck together. I saw a video on that. Yes. And it's, so anything's possible on that end. But anyhow, we've been at this for an hour, except for Mike. He's been screwing around trying to act like he's working. But Gary, I kind of agree with you. Gary says this, Mike. The males are the hunters and the females are the gatherers.
Yeah, I'll go along with that. Except for there's a couple species that it differs, but generally speaking, the males are the hunters, the females are the gatherers, and in some cases, it's a equal. They hunt together, like coyotes hunt in packs. And in the coyote world, the female is the queen. There is no king. There's a king. There's an alpha female who runs the whole damn pack. So
Yep. You're 100% right there too. Damn, I taught you well.
But generally speaking, the males hunt and the females gather.
Yep. All right. Well, Mike, we got to cut this. Thank you, everyone, for paying attention to me and Mike babbling on. And Gary, thank you for the best wishes to me and Beth. Yes, just like our great ancestors. Gary, you're right.
Yep.
But
do you know why the males hunt and the females gather?
Why?
Okay, in the Neanderthal days, the males, of course, it was spears and knives and stone axes, and they were taking down mammoths and whatnot.
Right.
Well, you can kill 5 males and have 1 left and continue to populate. But if you kill all the females, you can't populate anymore. So the females were made to stay back while the males went into hand-to-hand combat with, like if you've ever seen the Irish elk that had these huge, massive antlers. They were on the landscape at the time. You had mastodons, mammoths, you had a boreal buffalo, and all these animals fought back. Well, if your females get killed, you can't reproduce your population. So females were forced to stay back while the males basically got their asses handed to them, got antler stabbed and killed and maimed and mutilated. And The females, they just waited for the male survivor, whatever one came back, like, all right, you're the one I'm sleeping with. You're the one I'm procreating with. So
Read that.
you get the hell to the store.
Basically, what
Pretty much.
yes. But anyhow, okay, folks, we're cutting this off. Mike, thank you very much, brother. Appreciate
Yep,
you
not a
jumping in
problem.
with us. And
Sure
everyone,
thing.
if you don't hear from Mike between now and Thursday, he's probably getting stuffed by the boss.
Oh, I actually have Thursday off. I can't believe it.
What happened? You
I don't
okay?
know. Yeah, it just fell on my rotation that way.
Yeah, you'll be called out. But anyhow,
Yeah, I will
Yeah.
be. I will
Yeah.
be.
But anyhow, everyone, thank you for listening in to me and Mike. We both appreciate it. And Mike, I appreciate you jumping in here with me with your
Sure
little bit of
thing.
knowledge, brother. So y'all have a good Thanksgiving, and I will have a podcast Friday evening at 7:00.
Okay.
Norm Domack will be on. You haven't met Norm yet, Mike. You got to listen in
No.
on this one. Norm's a good guy. But anyhow, you all have a great time, and we will talk to you later.